Often what happens is teachers are teaching content that isn't directly aligned with standards. And what happens is everybody teaches it differently. There are gaps in student learning. So when Constance was saying earlier about, just having kids be able to leave a class with a certain set of skills and content to be able to progress well in the next space, in order for there to be equity in every single space, there needs to be an agreed upon set of skills and content that we're teaching. And that's essentially what the standards are trying to do. They're trying to create some kind of structure around what students are supposed to be mastering in each of these classes so that they could be successful moving forward. And when there's clarity around that, students are able to do it, and teachers are better able to make sure that students are getting what they need instead of sometimes, and I'll throw myself under the bus here. Sometimes, I would have created an assignment that I thought was going to be good, but then at the end of the day, it didn't actually assess any of the things that I really wanted it to, because I wasn't super intentional about making sure there was alignment before I got started.
So what we found in the schools that we've worked with is that once we as a teaching community are aligned around what set of standards we're using and what basic principles of assessment we're kind of rallying behind, it gives a common language both horizontally across a grade level and across subjects and vertically through the grade levels. And so now the conversation becomes less about what happened on this particular day or what I'm hoping to teach next, and more about what does our curricular map dictate and how does that feed into the next year teacher's course who needs their students to come up prepared. And so it provides, the standards provide a structure that allow folks to understand not only what they're teaching, but what the person before them had taught and what the person after them teaches. And I'll add that, when teachers use the Mastery Book, which is the feedback and assessment platform that we've developed at Mastery Portfolio, that mastery data travels with students from year to year. So when you inherit a new group of students in the fall, you can actually look back at their mastery if you choose from the previous year's mastery data and see if there are themes or trends or things, skills that you might want to hit or kind of get ahead of based on how they did the previous year.
And I'll say, as somebody who didn't have access to the Mastery Book when I was in the classroom, like, we were using portfolios in my space where kids were taking their actual products with them from one space to the next, which was helpful, but not as condensed necessarily as what the Mastery Book would provide. And I think that when a teacher can see where a student ended last in their content as well as in other subject areas, the way a portfolio and the Mastery Book would allow, it helps better align the instruction with where we start. And it also helps differentiate for individual students in the class without having to spend the first month of school doing benchmark testing in a way that most schools kind of force these days, especially in high schools where they spend so much time just testing kids to death at the beginning of the year.